Hello, welcome back to the game room. Let's jump right into things. So today's episode is about 5 silly things that I absolutely adore. When people love a video game, it could be for great graphics, amazing sound effects, a fantastic multiplayer, but sometimes there's just something in the game that the developers threw in that just makes it all the better and you keep coming back to it. That's what we're here to discuss. So, the first thing that I freaking adore are in-jokes. Now, I covered this a little bit in Kingsley's Adventures in an episode a while back where they had unused character graphics in the dungeons locked away from ever being seen or used again. There's often in-jokes like Zidane in Final Fantasy IX clearly referencing Cloud and his Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII. For today's episode, we're going to focus on Tekken 2. In Tekken 2, instead of beating each other up, if you just let the characters stand there, and this is for player-controlled characters, after about 20 seconds of non-movement, a little thought balloon will appear above their head, and that thought balloon correlates directly to their profiles in the instruction manual. For example, Yoshimitsu says he likes TV games, and his thought bubble is one of the bonus icons from a ton of Namco arcade games. It's fantastic, all the characters have it. At number 2, it's the perfect audio clip. Now, games across the board have amazing soundtracks and songs and things like that, but sometimes you just need the right voiceover to make you smile, and it inspires you to keep going. One of my favorite ones that was second place for this video was Mortal Kombat 3's Shao Kahn voiceover when you perform a friendship, and he goes, "Friendship? Again?" First time you heard it in the arcade, it was hilarious. For this video, though, we're going to focus on Intelligent Qube. Now, Intelligent Qube is a fantastic puzzle game in its own right, but when you finally get that first perfect lay, and you hear the game go, perfect! Oh my god, does it pump you up? Oh, just, like, seriously, like, since the day I played the demo working back at Microplay, and I heard that, I was like, yep, this is my game. I need this in my life. Number 3, hidden minigames in larger video games. Now, I don't mean like unlocking an extra game, like say a Namco Museum. I mean an actual minigame hiding in plain sight. In Versus, their loading screen actually is a mini tile game where you have to try and move the tiles to make a perfect picture of the character's profile face. For this video, though, we're talking about Zero Divide. Now, Zero Divide is a fantastic fighting game that is essentially Virtua Fighter 2, but with robots. Zoom, the game's developer, actually worked on games in the Super Nintendo era. On the PlayStation Zero Divide, if you hold down Start on Select on Controller 2 while the game is booting, and you keep holding them until you see a different now loading screen, you can let go, and a tiny version of their Super Nintendo game Phalanx can now be played. It's called Tiny because it's only the first 3 levels, I believe. But what's crazy is that game even has its own save screen and options. It's fantastic. It was one of the coolest things to see back in the day. Number 4, comical absurdity. Now, if you're a PlayStation 2 and higher fan and you play NIS games, you guys know all about comic absurdity. It's just pushing things to the limit, be it joke-wise, a violent act so ridiculously over the top that it becomes funny and not gross. That is exactly what I'm talking about with Vandal Hearts 1. Vandal Hearts is a strategy RPG like Final Fantasy Tactics, where you move pieces on a board and, fight, blah, blah, blah. But why it made the list for comical absurdity is the first time I tried it out and you see the first person killed, this hilarious, straight out of Samurai Showdown blood spurt just comes gushing out of this inch-tall guy, and they drop dead. When we played it for the first time, everyone in the room went, oh man! And I was hooked. And what's cool is in Vandal Hearts, this little blood splurt actually changes based on the character. So if you're fighting a rock golem, instead of blood, just a whole bunch of rocks and pebbles shoot out of them. It's hilarious. It's so good. It's worth playing just for that. And finally, the number one stupid thing, I guess stupid and silly thing that I absolutely adore is when video games correct you. This started off as me thinking, wow, the game is so broken in the menu system until I finally put 2 and 2 together and realized, holy crap, this is amazing. In the original NFL Game Day, in the menu selection screen, under the options, you can choose the weather. When I went to play, being from Chicago for the first time, I was like, oh yeah, we'll choose snow. And I choose snow, and when I went back one screen, instead of snow, it changed to rain. And I was like, I didn't pick rain, I picked snow. And I went back and confirmed it was snow, came back, why is it rain? And I got so angry and so pissed that I was like, okay, screw it, we'll play with rain. As I moved up the team selection screen, I realized the weather was changing on certain teams. And that's when I realized the game was correcting my weather choice based on the state I was playing in. When I chose snow, the team I was already highlighted on rarely gets snow in their state, if any. And it wasn't until I reached Chicago that you saw the snow falling as it should. Even funnier, if you scroll past a dome stadium, the weather is always non-existent. It just shows the inside of the dome. It's fantastic. It's probably one of my favorite little details ever. Just like, oh, this is, that's really cool. Even in the beginning days of the PlayStation, they were doing amazing things. But yeah, so that's my list, guys. Obviously, you all have something specific that you love in a game that other people would think is stupid. Hit me in the comments below. Let me know what your favorite silly thing is in a video game. Let's get the discussion started. It is the weekend. The sun is out. Go play and have fun. I'll see you guys later. Take care.